So since we are all here today to, begin with the topic of electronic waste, as Janki ma'am said that we intend to have an interactive session. So just before we start our discussion of electronic waste, may I please request all the participants to just quickly write in the chat box, have we ever heard about this concept of electronic waste? Yes or no? Have we ever heard about, this concept of e-waste or waste electrical and electronic equipments? Okay, I can see the chat box. Thank you so much. I can see many yes messages, Ritanshu, and many more. So probably all of you have been writing yes, that we are already familiar with the concept of electronic waste. Thank you so much if we've heard about it. So to go about our session, since I have been given an entire hour, these 60 minutes, I just made an effort that maybe we can divide our today's session in 5 different parts, with covering up the introduction, the classification, management of e-waste, along with the challenges and opportunities with few minutes. So as you can see that almost 50 minutes segment has been decided. 5 minutes for, of course, the question and answer, as Janki ma'am just mentioned when we started the session, and a few minutes for buffer of any kind of glitch also in between. Okay. Now, what is exactly electronic waste? Any electrical or any electronic component that has been discarded by the owner without any intention of reusing it becomes an electronic waste. I am using a mobile phone. I don't intend to use it further. Irrespective of what am I doing with it right now, it becomes my electronic waste. I have cells in my remote, batteries of my video games. When those particular electronic devices becomes useless for me, when I don't intend to use them anymore, that becomes an electronic waste. Now, we have been talking about waste management since 1700s. Ben Franklin was one of the persons who actually introduced the concept of waste management long ago in 1700s. But still today, we are actually grappling with the issue of waste management, and suddenly something gained momentum over the past few years, and that concept is electronic waste. Now, one of the reports by United Nations University, which is the Global E-Waste Monitor for 2024, they have released some data where they say that in 2019, 53.6 million metric tons of e-waste was generated across the globe. I hope you all can see a small image on the screen that looks like a very famous monument named as Eiffel Tower. The weight of this electronic waste that we have generated across the world in 2019 is actually equal to the weight of 4,500 Eiffel Towers. So actually that creates somewhere a situation, a condition for us to actually realize the gravity of situation. And it is not just the number of 53.6 million, rather in 2022, the number increased to 62 million metric tons. We have been generating so much content of electronic waste. I suppose this is one of the major reasons the growth at such an alarming rate that today we are here to discuss on this particular topic of e-waste. Now, let's just have a very quick view of what is the global scenario. Since we are talking of this international webinar, so rather than talking in a particular nation's context, let us begin at a global platform, and then we will actually narrow it down to a particular nation. We can see that in 2014, the quantum of electronic waste was 44.4 million metric tons, which raised to 51.8 million metric tons, and it is estimated that in 2030, we are going to generate approximately 82 million metric tons of electronic waste, which actually calls for actually a thought that how are we going to manage it? I hope everyone has heard about the suburbs of Mumbai and the heaps of e-waste in the outskirts of New Delhi in India. We all have come across that. Even Harvard and Ivy have published case studies with regards to some organizations or entrepreneurs who have taken initiatives for managing that waste. But a very crucial segment of the waste that we generate is electronic waste, which has actually developed and increased in the past many years. As we can see that from 2019 to 2022, there has been a rapid increase. Unfortunately, because of the time period of 2020, when the entire world faced a particular situation of pandemic, that was COVID-19. More use of electronic devices, more rate of discarding the electronics, leading to increase in electronic waste. Further, if we talk about which are the nations that are the largest e-waste generators, so reports of 2023 suggests China is the largest e-waste generator, followed by USA, and India is not far behind, but ranking in third number in generation of electronic waste. So we need to understand, why is this a problem for us? And do we have some solution towards it? What can we do as an individual? So since past 4-5 minutes, I have been talking about the concept of e-waste or electronic waste, but what exactly it comprises of? What is the classification? Before I move ahead, may I please request all my worthy participants to just type in the chat box, what are the products or gadgets that can be treated as e-waste? If you can quickly type. Yeah, okay, Prashant sir has messaged. If everyone can please mute, I hope that's done. Okay, thank you. Lavanya is the first one to reply. Okay, Udatanshu sir, Adya ma'am, smartphones, Pallavi ma'am, Prashant sir. Yes, definitely. Laptops, mobile phones, chargers, so many items that we can think about. The laptop that I'm using, the AirPods that I'm connected with, the mobile phones that we have, the iPads, the AirPad, the AirPods that we use, earphones, calculators, refrigerators, freezers, so many gadgets that we have around us, that comprises of electronic waste. The notebooks, the printers, our routers, we have Wi-Fi access. I am connected to this session with you via Wi-Fi connection. We have router, we have some cables. There used to be a time, I hope we have some academicians and some industry experts with us who have been through those times when we used to have the pen drives, the floppy disks, the CDs. What did we do with all those old CDs? Apart from making some art and craft wall hangings, what else have we done with them? Have we discarded them with our regular household waste? Did we thought of what is going to happen for this CD when it is being treated by the person who treats the garbage for us? What exactly is going to happen? So there are many components. Thank you so much everyone for responding in the chat box. I can see many answers. E-things. Okay, Zahida is mentioning e-things. Yes. Thank you, Deepak sir. All electronic equipments. Harvinder sir mentions cells, of course. Varsha ma'am is mentioning about headphones. Thank you so much. So there are so many products that we are using in our daily lives. And this is not just an exhaustive list. I have just listed few things on the screen. More than this, you have given me in the chat box. But if today I am representing an organization as an...
Are these two sets? Two sets?
Sorry? I'll be happy to answer all the questions, but at the end, if that's okay. Thank you so much. So when we talk about electronic waste, how do I define? If I belong to an organization, I represent a college, a university, I'm a CEO of a company, or I'm a homemaker, whatever stakeholder I represent, how do I categorize what e-waste is? So whenever there is a concern for any country or for any nation, government steps in. There have been various definitions for electronic waste across the globe by different countries. Even some have categorized as waste, electric and electronical equipments, that is WEEE. They have also categorized e-waste. United Nations has also given some definitions of electronic waste. Number of researchers have categorized electronic waste. China, being the largest producer, have certain organizations who have been defining what exactly e-waste is. But if we talk in context of India, so India introduced some e-waste management rules in 2011 and further updating them till 2016, and then in 2022. They have categorized the equipments in these seven broader segments. When we talk about IT and telecommunication equipments, the consumer electrical and electronic and photovoltaic panels, along with that, some large and small electrical and electronic equipments, and so on. This is just a broader list. Further, they have categorized many other items that comprise under e-waste. Now, why do we need to know what is categorized under e-waste? I need to know about it. You need to know about it, because we need to take a step for managing it. We have many researchers also associated with us. I got to know through the organizers. So we all have heard about a sentence: a problem well defined is half solved. If we understand what is the problem, we will be able to sort it better. If I don't know what exactly e-waste is, how am I going to sort it out?